What's up, Mets and overall baseball fans? Welcome back to the channel, and we have a new report regarding the Metropolitans that came out last night at the time of recording this regarding not one but two key free agent pitchers out there. One we know about already in their current connection to the Mets, but a new one that has now entered the fold of things. But before we get into it all I ask is if you're new to the channel, don't hesitate from smashing that like and subscribe button, helping us get a 20k subs for the next short-term goal. Thank you guys all so much in advance. And of course, I have to let you all know that today's show is brought to you by BetOnline. BetOnline is your #1 source for all your sports betting needs, so make sure you head over to betonline.ag using promo code Bleav at BLEAV. That way you get a 50% off welcome bonus. BetOnline, it's where the games begin. And now, folks, let's let the show begin. Here's an interesting report came out last night, again, from Ken Rosenthal, The Athletic, as you see here. You can check it out, links down below after watching the video. Also, that yes, the Mets have already met and are in current discussions with Justin Verlander, the reigning AL Cy Young Award winner. And if you go into that article, it also mentions that the Mets aren't only connected to JV Kodai Senga, who they met with last week, that we've discussed in previous live streams on the channel, but also Jameson Taillon, which is a very interesting player to get into. In my mind, right away, raw reactions. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. But putting aside JV for just a second, when I think about Jameson Taillon, I think about potentially the best replacement for Taijuan Walker out there. And before we get to that, let's get to Justin Verlander once more here. Don't need to harp on him too much. We discussed him on the channel already. The Mets have clear interest there. And from Ken Rosenthal's report in said article, he made note that this is more than just fluff. There's real interest here for Verlander. And again, in the perfect world, for Verlander and the Mets case, that would happen as a plan B scenario if Jacob deGrom does not return. Now, whether Jake returns or not, that is yet to be seen. We have seen reports, as you see here, that came out over the past couple days that yes, apparently the Mets, that being in Jacob deGrom, their ace, would like to return to the Mets, would favor them in this scenario where he's offered similar contracts by opposing teams and the Rangers, potentially, you know, whoever it may be. So that's definitely a plus. I hope that's true as someone that desperately wants deGrom back on this squad. I know that not all Mets fans feel the same, but I certainly feel that way, and for good reason. But in this scenario, again, where Jacob deGrom does not return, your best plan B option out there for pure stuff, ace level, Cy Young Award winning level, the guy who just won the Cy Young after having Tommy John out for 2 years, already in his late 30s. How does that even happen? He's a generational talent. That is Justin Verlander. There's so many things to like about JV. Yes, I am concerned about the velo going to drop over the next couple years. Yes, I am concerned about how healthy he can be over 162, just like Max Scherzer. And yes, that is the biggest concern with landing someone like Verlander, because he's looking for Max Scherzer-esque money, potentially upwards of 3 years on $130 million. And yes, I'm not in favor of said contract. I will be more in favor of, say, a 2-year deal if there's a vesting option or some type of option after the first or second year, similar to Scherzer's. But the guy's going to be 40 next year already. How much do you want to bank on Scherzer and Verlander being your head honchos in that rotation healthy when these guys are already at the ages that they are? Yes, there's uncertainties with Jake and his health as well, but I still want Jake every day of the week. So again, in the hypothetical where Jacob deGrom does not return, fingers crossed that doesn't happen, Justin Verlander is the best bet out there when it comes to pure stuff that all the Mets have to do is pay the money. That's what Steve Cohen is known for. If there's anything the Mets can control in free agency, it's paying the most big bucks, especially over a short-term deal for a team in a win-now stage. That's Steve Cohen and this Mets team. It's a Max Scherzer 2.0 situation here. That's why it's favorable for them, especially. So we will wait and see if anything pans out there and talks pick up even further. If it does in fact happen, should Jacob deGrom not return and say go to the Rangers, the Dodgers, wherever it may be. But the guy that I do want to put heavy emphasis on in today's video is Jameson Taillon. Taillon is so interesting to me because, as I mentioned, he feels like a Taijuan Walker replacement. Why, you might ask? Well, Taijuan, he's going to be looking for a multi-year deal this offseason. Doesn't seem like he's at all top priority for the Mets with having deGrom, Nimmo, even Bassett to a lesser degree to worry about in that entire bullpen. Ty's due for a good payday, and rightfully so, after a nice 2022 campaign with the Metropolitans. However, Taijuan Walker is someone that, again, feels like he's on the outside looking in. He's probably going to land elsewhere, and I wish him all the best. Love Ty, love his tacos, all that fun stuff. Jameson Taillon, however, coming from the Bronx to the different borough, the right side, not the dark side, in Queens with the Metropolitans here. You see his stat line. Yes, he had a north of a 4-year rate this past season. However, what is so crucial, in my opinion, is his walk rate. He was around a 1.6 walks per 9, far better than Taijuan Walker, who's around a 2.5 plus. Better than Chris Bassett as well. he's like a mix of the two in a lot of ways, because one, he's young, that's in the favoritism of a Taijuan Walker, but two, he has a 6-pitch arsenal, baby, that's just like Chris Bassitt, and three, what separates him from the rest again is the fact that he has that walk rate down. He was in the 94th percentile among pitchers in 2022 per Baseball Savant for walk rate. That's phenomenal. I mean, this guy is really controlling that strike zone. It's just about making sure he's not giving up the home run ball, make sure he's not throwing meatballs over the plate. As long as he can do that, then he's definitely in good hands. Has definitely given up some hard contact. That's something that Chris Bassitt did so well on not giving up this past season. However, Bassitt and Taijuan alike, what was their biggest bugaboos when they had bugaboos? It was that walk rate directly in hand. So Taijuan, pardon me, that being in Taillon, reminds me, like, think of the Ottavino situation when he signed him last offseason. Had a bad year with the Red Sox. His walk rate was through the roof. He comes to the Mets. Jimmy Hefner gets him right. Walk rate is beautiful. He was the best setup man one could ask for, the bridge to Edwin Diaz. You bring in Taillon. He's going to be cheaper more than likely than both Taijuan Walker and Chris Bassitt alike. You can have him as your number 3 or number 4 in said rotation in the scenario where maybe you bring in a Kodai Senga as your number 3 should he not go to San Diego. Fingers crossed there, because they feel like a great fit, as I've discussed in my live stream already, even though the Mets have plenty of interest there and their meeting quote unquote went well, so that's a good thing to see. But if you bring in deGrom or you bring in a Verlander Rodon, one of those 3 as your ace, then you have Max at 2, then maybe a Senga at 3, then Taillon at 4, and a Cookie at 5, your rotation is set for next year. So I don't know exactly what Taillon's market is going to be. However, I'd imagine it'll probably be in that 3-year range of a deal, maybe 4 if you have an option. Definitely a guy, though, at the right age right now, still looking like you can get the best out of him in his career. The walk rate's already good, so now it's just making sure that his stuff gets better and better. That 6-pitch arsenal, big fan of that, and I do think that he could be someone that can have a favorable career, best yet, potentially in Queens versus what we've seen in both Pittsburgh and in the Bronx with the Yankees alike. But Mets fans, that'll do it for this one, so let me know your thoughts in the comments below. How do you feel about these latest reports that the Mets have been in constant contact and talks with not only Kodai Senga that we discussed previously, but now Justin Verlander, that you guys know a little bit by now, and now the new guy in the group, that being in Jameson Taillon. Whatever your thoughts are, drop them down below as always. Again, folks, if you found yourself enjoying this kind of Mets content and you want to see more great Mets content like this, you know what to do by now by smashing that like and subscribe button, sharing this video with your friends, on the notification bell, all those great things. Thank you guys all so much for the continued support. Love you all to death. I'll talk to you again real soon. Let's go Mets, baby. Peace out.